continuing with equations that contain fractions. Another way that we could solve this equation is to continue isolating the variable term by itself. To do that, I would add 3 to both sides. Add 3 to both sides. Negative 15 plus 3 gives you negative 12 equals 2 x over 3, and the 3's would cancel. Now, x is being divided by 3, so to undo division, we will multiply both sides by 3. When you multiply both sides by 3, you end up with negative 36 equals 2. On the right-hand side, 3's over 1. If you multiply straight across, you get 3x over 3, which ends up giving me 1x. Also, students, I would like for you to look at this, remembering that in multiplication, you can either multiply straight across and then reduce, like I did, or you can cross divide. 3 divides into 3, 1, 3 divides into 3, 1. We can also do it that way, and we get 1x. So here's another way to work an equation that contains a fraction. Let's look at another problem. X divided by 2 minus 5 equals to 21. Let's look at that problem. We have x divided by 2 minus 5 equals to 21. We can look at this problem as isolating the variable term. Let's add 5 to both sides. If you add 5 to both sides, the 5's cancel. I end up with x over 2 equals to 26. To undo the division of x divided by 2, let's multiply both sides by 2. 2's over 1. The 2's would cross out. 2 divides into 2, 1. 2 divides into 2, 1. Leaving x equals 2, 26 times 2. Well, 26 times 2 gives you 52. So your answer to that problem is x equals to 52. I'm going to work one more problem involving fractions. We have x divided by 5 minus 1 equals to 24. Now I'm going to take a little different approach with this problem. I've worked one like this before. Another way that you can look at solving an equation that contains fractions is to multiply each term through by a common denominator, or just look at it as multiplying each term through by the denominator of the fraction. The only denominator that I have of this problem is 5. So if I multiplied both sides by 5, watch what happens. By multiplying both sides by 5, you're saying 5 times x over 5. 5's over 1. The 5's cancel, leaving just x. If you multiplied straight across, you'd get 5x over 5, which is still just x. So I would distribute 5 times x over 5. I would multiply 5 times negative 1, which is negative 5. And then I would multiply 5 times 24, which is 120. So see, by distributing 5 times the left side and multiplying the right side also by 5, the fraction is now gone. So that's another method of solving an equation that contains fraction, is multiply both sides by the denominator of the fraction. Next, we can add 5 to both sides. When you add 5 to both sides, you end up with x equals to 125, because the 5's cancel on the left side. So your final answer to that problem is x equals to 125.